Hello and welcome to episode 4, Brain Fog, Forgetfulness and Losing Confidence in Your Own Mind. Welcome back to Hot Flushes and Homework. I'm really glad you're here today because today we are talking about something that can feel really scary, embarrassing and deeply upsetting. Brain fog. Forgetting words mid-sentence, losing your train of thought, walking into a room and having absolutely no idea why you're there, reading something and realising none of it's gone in, doubting yourself in conversations, at work, even with your kids. And if you've ever quietly thought, what's wrong with me? Please know this from the very start. You are not alone and you are not broken. When you stop trusting your own mind, brain fog isn't about forgetfulness. It's about confidence. It's the moment you hesitate before speaking because you're not sure the right word will come out. It's the panic when someone asks you a question and your mind goes blank. It's the fear that others noticing that they might judge you. You start second guessing yourself. You replay conversations afterwards. You wonder if you sound stupid, if you feel slower, less sharp, less capable. And that loss of confidence can be far more distressing than the memory slips themselves. Because many of us have years, decades being capable, organised and relied upon. And suddenly, that sense of trust in your own mind feels shaken. The parenting pressure, when your parenting brain fog feels even heavier because you're expected to remember everything, school dates, PE kits, permission slips, what each child needs, wants, worries about. You're the keeper of information, the organiser, the planner, the emotional anchor. And when your brain doesn't cooperate, it can feel like you're failing at something, fundamentally. But what you're experiencing isn't a lack of care. It's not a lack of intelligence. It's not incompetence. It's your brain working under new conditions. Why this happens and why it's not your fault. During perimenopause and menopause, hormonal changes, especially fluctuating estrogen, have a direct impact on the brain functions. Estrogen plays a role in memory formation, focus and concentration, word recall, processing speed, mental clarity. When levels fluctuate or decline, the brain has to work harder to do the same tasks. Add into the mix poor or disrupted sleep, chronic stress, mental load, emotional labour, and your brain is essentially trying to function while under pressure. With fewer internal resources, that doesn't mean it's failing, it means it's adapting, even if it doesn't feel like it. The fear no one talks about. For many women, brain fog brings fear. Quiet fear, unspoken fear. Thoughts like, is this permanent? Is this dementia? Am I losing my mind? Will I ever feel like myself again? These thoughts are terrifying and often kept private. But menopause-related brain fog is not the same as cognitive decline or dementia. It is commonly well documented, often temporary, and it does not mean your intelligence is disappearing. Your brain is recalibrating. The emotional impact, grief and identity. What people really talk about is the grief that comes with brain fog. Grief for the sharp, quick version of you, the confident professional, the multitasker, the person who had always had the answer. Grief for how effortless things used to be, and that grief is real. It deserves acknowledgement. You are allowed to mourn that version of yourself without judgment. But here's something important. This is not a downgrade, it's a transition. A new version of you is forming. One shaped by experience, depth and resilience. Why pushing harder makes it worse? So many women respond to brain fog by pushing harder, trying to multitask more, forcing concentration, beating themselves up for forgetting. But the harder you push, the more your nervous system tightens, and the tighter it gets, the fog thickens. This phase doesn't respond well to pressure. It responds to kindness. Practical, kind adjustments. No extra hacks here. They aren't about fixing you. They're about supporting you. So write things down without judgment. Not as a failure, as a tool. Your brain is going to do a lot of work behind the scenes. Slow conversations when you need to. You don't owe speed. You are allowed to pause. Reduce multitasking. One thing at a time is not a weakness. It's a nervous system strategy. Say it out loud. I've lost my word today. I need a second. You don't need to hide. Prioritise rest and nourishment. Sleep, food, hydration. Not luxuries. These are foundations. Rebuilding trust in yourself. Brain fog can shake your identity, but your wisdom hasn't disappeared. Your intuition hasn't vanished, and your experience hasn't gone anywhere. Even on foggy days, you are still you. The part of you that understands people, reads between the lines, knows what matters, that part remains. And trust can be rebuilt, slowly, gently, by meeting yourself with compassion instead of criticism. A reframe that may help. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? Try asking, what does my brain need right now? That shift alone can soften everything. You are still capable. You may work differently now. You may need notes, pauses, reminders. That doesn't make you less capable. It makes you human in transition. This phase will not erase you. If this episode eased even a little of the fear or shame around brain fog, I'm really glad you are here today. You're not losing your mind. You are adapting. In the next episode, we'll talk about parenting teenagers while your hormones are changing and why that combination can feel explosive. Until then, be gentle with yourself. You are still you, even on your foggy days. And I look forward to speaking to you again soon.